I'm Chris Frame, and today we're going to be looking at how the Oriana and her sister ship Aurora helped transition P&O to create the P&O Cruises brand in the UK that we know today. Formed in the 19th century, P&O was established to operate passenger and mail services to the Iberian Peninsula. The line quickly grew to become a vital transportation link across the British Empire. But throughout its long history, P&O has had to adapt to many challenges. P&O survived pandemics, 2 world wars, and even survived the introduction of jet aircraft services, which led to many shipping lines going out of business. But by the 1980s, P&O was starting to be left behind. There had been a resurgence in interest in passenger ships off the back of cruising, driven by new American companies that saw a new way to handle passenger ships, creating a whole host of new amenities and expectations for the travelling public. P&O's cruise offering had, in many respects, been left behind. This included their flagship, the Canberra, which had been successfully transitioned into cruising, but did have a heritage that dated back to the era of long-distance line voyages between Britain and Australia. P&O did have a new build in 1972 when they launched the Spirit of London, but she only remained with the brand for 2 years before being transitioned to P&O's Princess subsidiary. But as the popularity of cruising grew across the UK and Europe, P&O had to look to new tonnage to remain relevant in an increasingly competitive market. This led to a new project to build a new ship for P&O Cruises, specifically designed for the UK market. The design called for a 69,000-ton, 260-metre long ship that was built in Papenburg, Germany. She was named Oriana after the popular Orient Line ocean liner that had sailed from 1960 through to 1986. The design of Oriana had to balance the needs and wants of regular P&O travellers, while introducing a suite of new features that would enable the ship to compete with other new-build cruise ships. Modern design elements included the inclusion of an entire deck of balcony cabins, something that existing P&O ships lacked. Oriana also boasted a West End-style show lounge, the largest of its type on a cruise ship at the time. But the Oriana also carried across popular elements from the Canberra. This included the crow's nest bar, the forward observation bar that has since become P&O Cruises' signature room. Like Canberra, Oriana's lifeboats were set inboard, while the aft decks were terraced, creating a huge amount of open deck space for meeting friends, watching sailaways, and sunbathing. Oriana was designed to be a fast ship, particularly for a cruise ship, and her engines were set out in a unique configuration. Oriana's engine layout called for 8 engines arranged in pairs. Each pair consisted of one larger 9-cylinder engine and a smaller 6-cylinder engine, in a layout known as a father and son configuration. While most modern cruise ships utilize a diesel-electric propulsion system, Oriana employed a direct drive setup. The 4 propulsion engines are directly linked to the propeller shafts by gearboxes and couplings. The remaining 4 engines are utilized to generate power for hotel services. Oriana's bridge was far more modern than Canberra's, with electronic systems that allowed the ship to be controlled via a small joystick. Yet the bridge also shares some commonalities with older ships, such as a wooden main wheel and open bridge wings, added at the request of the ship's first master, Commodore Gibb, who had previously served aboard Canberra. The completed Oriana entered service in 1995 and immediately transformed the P&O cruise experience. Although the ship suffered from vibrations at high speed throughout her career, particularly at the stern, in the most part, the design of the vessel proved popular with P&O regulars, as well as new cruisers, and Oriana quickly became a much-loved member of the fleet. The Canberra retired from P&O service in 1997, with P&O sourcing additional ships from the Princess fleet. This included Sea Princess, renamed Victoria, as well as Star Princess, which was renamed Arcadia. However, with the success of Oriana, P&O turned its attention to building a fleetmate. Laid down in 1998 at the same shipyard in Germany, the new ship was named Aurora and aimed to improve on the design of Oriana. Significant changes included the addition of far more balcony cabins, 3 decks worth in fact. Oriana had already been superseded by other cruise ships in terms of balcony accommodation, including by P&O Princess's own Sun class of cruise ship. I made a video about the Sun class of cruise ships, which you can find in the info card or the description below. Aurora featured the same terraced aft decks as Oriana, but her forward profile was given a number of changes. Enclosed bridge wings and a bulkier crow's nest bar gave the ship a commanding profile, while the ship's lifeboat supports were straightened up, making Aurora's boat deck appear more squared off. Aurora entered service in 2000, to a less than auspicious start, with the ship experiencing significant mechanical issues during her maiden voyage, resulting in it being cut short less than 24 hours from departure, definitely not what P&O was hoping for. And while the Aurora would suffer from further mechanical issues, like the Oriana, she did become a widely popular ship. Working together, both ships ushered in a new era of modern cruising for P&O. Designed specifically for the British cruise market, their interiors were customised for British taste, setting them apart from American-style cruise ships. The two ships also offered year-round cruising from the UK, greatly expanding the UK cruise market for the British public. Both Oriana and Aurora were designed for long-duration voyages, and much effort was put into considering the top speed of each ship, with Oriana's 26.5 knot top speed outpacing Aurora's more sluggish 24 knots. This design feature allowed Oriana to transit the often rough Bay of Biscay quicker than slower cruise ships, reducing the time it took for her to reach the sunny Mediterranean. Her speed led the ship to hold the Golden Cockerel, trophy held by the fastest P&O cruise ship, previously held by the Canberra and the first Oriana. The design of both ships made Aurora and Oriana popular for world cruises, with both ships undertaking regular world voyages throughout their careers. Their dimensions made them capable of transiting the original locks of the Panama Canal, with their voyages taking the ships to locations all over the world, such as Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific. This expanded the appeal of P&O's UK brand around the world. This video is brought to you by me and my new book, The Evolution of the Passenger Ship. In The Evolution of the Passenger Ship, we've brought years of research together to create a book that takes you on a journey from the earliest sailing ships right the way through to the modern behemoths that we see today. The Evolution of the Passenger Ship is available at all good bookshops, and if you buy a copy, you help us by supporting the channel. Carnival Corporation took over management of P&O Cruises in 2003, following the merger between Carnival Corp and P&O Princess. This means that Aurora, entering service in 2000, was the last passenger ship ever built for the Peninsula and Oriental Steam Navigation Company. But the ships had established a path for P&O Cruises, developing the UK market and introducing a new generation of travellers to the P&O experience. Their success led Carnival to invest further in the P&O UK brand, transforming it into the cruise brand that we see today. In 2012, Aurora and Oriana were both involved in P&O's anniversary celebration, with both ships sailing in the Rendezvous event undertaken in Southampton. 2014 saw P&O UK revise its livery, dropping the iconic buff funnels for a blue design with a Union flag painted on the bow. Aurora was the first ship to wear the new colours. Oriana followed some months later. Both ships remained well maintained thanks to regular refurbishments, with Oriana undertaking her final P&O refit in 2016 and Aurora receiving similar treatment in 2018. Oriana lost her flagship status in 2015 when the new Britannia was introduced to P&O Cruises, but the ship remained popular with new and repeat P&O travellers. However, despite the growing fondness for the ship among regular and repeat travellers, Oriana's time in P&O's fleet was cut short in 2019 when the ship was retired from P&O after just under 25 years of service. Sold to become a cruise ship in China, the vessel was renamed Piano Land and departed British waters. With Oriana retired, Aurora became the holder of the Golden Cockerel, continuing a series of cruises from Southampton alongside her fleet mates in waters off Great Britain, while the Oriana remains as Piano Land in China. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. If you're interested in more information about Aurora and Oriana, I've written a couple of books about the ships, which you can find information about in the info card below. They're photographic journeys that take you on a tour of both ships, so if you're missing Oriana or longing for a cruise on Aurora, you should check that out. For those of you who are interested in a more in-depth historical look at the ships, I highly recommend this book here by Andrew Sassoli Walker and Sharon Poole. I've linked that in the description below as well. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you on board.